Me too.
Molly Swanson is joining us. She is part of the Zakarian by Dash team. So you partner up with Jeffrey Zakarian, our Iron Chef here, and bringing us really great products from food and wine. I love the wine.
Tomorrow.
Cast iron. Oh, tomorrow?
Yeah.
Is there wine tomorrow?
Yeah, with Jeffrey.
Oh, okay. I'll be there. This is really cool. So we're going to talk about cast iron a little bit later.
Yep.
But first off in our show, we're going to talk about keeping a read on the temps, whether that be your water, your oil, your cast iron. This is a really cool idea. So over 3,700 of these have been sold since we introduced it less than a month ago, but it's the only order of the year. It's K99026, digital infrared thermometer. So this isn't the thermometer that you, this is not the one that you stick in the meat to get the internal temp. This is the external temp. It's $4.60 on an easy pay. You have some colors for you. I'll take you right over here real fast so I can show you those colors. I have it for you in a hunter green. Here is your cranberry, which is the most limited. And then here, of course, we would be remiss if we didn't have it in Zakarian blue, correct? Okay, so Molly Swanson. I know you went to culinary school and you're full blown, you're the real deal. Why do we need this?
Okay, so a lot of people have the internal digital thermometer at home, but you don't see a ton of people that have this external digital thermometer. And why this is so valuable is because it keeps your hands away from hot surfaces.
Okay.
So we're temping things that we can't touch. We can't stick our finger in a pot of boiling water.
That would be a bad idea. We would not recommend.
Exactly. So we're going to go through some ways we can use it for frying, searing, poaching, and even baking.
Okay.
So we're going to start with the frying. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay, great. So when we're frying, we want the temperature at about 350, 375. But if you put it a little higher than what you're frying, that'll help because when you drop the food, the temperature goes down. So if we get it around 400, then the temperature is going to drop to 350, which is exactly where we want it to get that crispy fry.
Oh, okay.
So again, best way to temp your oil, safest way to temp your oil is with this external digital thermometer. All you do is point the laser right at the surface.
Okay.
Release the button and it's going to hold at the temperature of your oil.
Okay, so what's that temp on there?
So it's a little high, it's 420. Ooh, so we got a little high, but that's okay.
Okay, that's fine.
So yeah, shrimp tempura, and then next we're going to move on to steaks.
All right.
So 2 things with when you're searing a steak. You'll hear Jeffrey say this all the time. This steak has been sitting out for an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Okay.
So how we know is we test the temperature. We see that surface is at 67, and we want to test the surface of the pan, 527. So it's a little,
hot pan.
It's really hot pan, but you want it at about 500. So again, when the colder steak hits the pan, the temperature is going to drop down.
Now, do you recommend getting your steaks to room temp?
Absolutely, yes. Because if you put a cold steak onto a hot pan, you're going to end up with a super seared outside and a raw inside.
Okay. So always take it out of after it's thawed, take it out of the refrigerator, give it a little bit of time to get to room temperature before you start cooking, but you can know when it's at room temperature using this infrared thermometer.
Exactly, exactly. Do you ever poach eggs at home? What did you say? Do you poach eggs at home ever?
I'm not very good at it, but maybe you can give me a little lesson.
Yes. So we're going to do a little tutorial. So water boils at 212 degrees.
Okay.
So we want it a little gentler than that when we poach an egg.
Can we see
this?
Yeah. So we want it at 212, and here we can see right here we have it at 218, and that was just by pointing at the water and releasing the trigger, and that's how we got that read.
And so that's actually a little warmer than we want with poached eggs. So ideally, I would let the water chill out. But again, that's the point of the external thermometer.
Right.
You know, I'm going to give it a second. I think we can go for it. We're going to add a little white vinegar that's going to help the egg coagulate. And then take the end of your spoon, make a little spiral motion so that your egg spins or curls around itself when you drop it. Get the base close to the water. And as it swirls, the egg's just going to cook around itself. You have a nice poached egg.
I really wish we had an overhead shot of this. It looks so good.
I know. If I could tilt it without spilling water, I would. They'll see it when it comes out for the
You create like a little whirlpool.
Sandwich. Yeah.
So when you drop the egg in, it swirls around itself while it's cooking.
Yes.
So, well done.
I know. And look how golden.
This is why she went to culinary school. I did not.
Can we see how golden the shrimp tempura got? It's so nice and crispy because that oil was at the proper temperature when we dropped it in.
I mean, it eliminates the guesswork.
Yeah.
And that's what I think a lot of us might shy away from making and cooking certain things.
Yeah.
Might shy away from because we just don't know. Like, is the oil hot enough? Is the water at the perfect temperature?
Yep.
What temperature are my steaks at? Are they ready to be seared? That's why this is such an important tool for
Exactly.
the kitchen. What is that?
So this is eggnog.
All right, what is this at? We're at
So
112.3.
Yeah. So when so when you make eggnog, you want to cook it hot enough to where, I mean, you're drinking raw eggs, so obviously the proper temperature is important when we're serving eggnog at a holiday party. So I just like to keep that right by the stove.
I have never made eggnog. What's in it? I buy Pennsylvania
Oh my gosh,
Dutch.
heavy cream, milk, whiskey, raw egg, sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg.
So it's really good for us, is what you're telling me.
Exactly. It's basically green juice.
Oh
It's
my
basically green juice. Here, you're gonna have some.
Am I?
This is for you. You know, I don't know. We'll have to ask Megan.
We're gonna
if there-
find out the hard way. I'm gonna let that cool off a little
Yeah,
bit because
it's
that is
super hot.
hot. But
So let's see. We'll check our
oh my
oil
gosh,
here
it
to
smells
see.
so good.
Okay, so our oil is at $3.95.
Okay, let me just show everybody.
Yep.
$3.90. Oh, $3.99.
Oh,
That's some hot
$3.99.
oil.
Yeah, it's hot. So, but when we drop this shrimp in, it's going to drop down to about $3.75.
Okay, because the shrimp is frozen?
Yep, because the shrimp is
Okay.
frozen, so it's going to be a nice temp to get that crispy outside. Okay.
Can I tell you something?
Please.
I've never fried anything myself in my life.
Oh, that's okay. You're doing it now.
Because
we'll
I was like, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of temperature it should be at. I had no idea. So this is really a great tool if there's things that you haven't done before because you just didn't know.
Yes.
Like you thought there was too much guesswork.
Totally. This
Takes it all out. This is so brilliant.
takes out the intimidation factor. This is my favorite use of the thermometer that
Okay.
I'm about to show you. So
Yeah,
I got into sourdough baking this year. My sister gave me some of her starter. So with a sourdough starter, and people who bake know this, you want it to be about room temperature. So that's 76 to 82 degrees about. So if it goes above or below that temperature, you're gonna kill the yeast.
Oh.
So super important for making sure your sourdough turns out the way you want it is getting that surface temp with the external
Interesting.
thermometer. Yeah.
This is still really, really hot, but I do want to drink this. So I'm just going to hold it until it's ready to drink. Okay, here is your hunter green. Here is your cranberry. This has been the most popular. And then here's your Zakarian blue. It's $4.60 on your 5 easy pays. It's K99026. I just got a lesson from you, Molly.
Oh, I'm glad.
I'm sure I'm going to get
hope
more
you're-
because I know you're going to be back with us in just a little bit. This is such a cool gadget